Greetings, citizens! Justiguy has arrived, and we are back with more That Which Binds Us, and we are in the midst of an oh-so-romantic moment with our heroine, Evalise, and the hunk of a bondsman, Idris. So, without any further delay, let's just get back to business. There's a few moments of silence, but I've learned that silence can be one of the biggest joys in life. At Stefan's apartment, he'd always have the music blasting, the TV on, and would attempt to yell over the noise so that he could talk. But here it feels like I could stay for hours. Staying here, whether because of the view or because of him, that's yet to be decided. Though, he adds to it. Maybe now's the time to ask. What was that phone call about? Work. I thought you had to leave soon? What, are you trying to get rid of me already? I just don't want you to be late for work. Alright, I'll just leave you up here. He takes one hand off the railing and starts to turn to walk away. Wait! The air is crisp. He stops, one hand still on the balcony. What? There's a gentle hum of the generators near us and the sound of traffic below, but it's mostly quiet. Well, we're standing really close. Why am I getting flustered at a time like this? I wanted to thank you for coming here with me. No! Oh, you're welcome then. We stare a bit at each other for a brief moment. His face turns to one of confusion when he notices my upturned eyebrows. After a bit, a look of surprise washes over him. Damn it! He walks off a bit and answers the phone, though not far enough where I can't hear. There's a deep voice on the other end, but that's about all I can make out. Idris responds back impatiently, though isn't he the one leaving them waiting? I'll be there in a little bit. I'm on my way. Like before, he hangs up and stares at his phone for a bit. But I've gotta go now. Are you gonna be fine getting home alone? No, you idiot. I'll be fine. I'll just take a cab. I can take you home real quick. I have a car parked nearby. I'm definitely not riding in that. No, thank you. I'm fine, really. I take a few steps back, which is basically me walking against the railing away from him, and he takes a few steps forward. Ooh. What's wrong? I just... It's nothing. I don't want to be in the way. To be honest, I haven't sat up front in a car since my accident. The one time I sat up front in a cab and bam! Maybe this would be different. Oh, a choice, a big choice. I mean, if somebody's after her, right? But then he's into shady business, and I feel like he's the better option. Dots. Alright, I'll go with you. Great. And quit looking so worried. I'm a great driver. I'm sure. We get off the roof and walk out of the museum, which is now close to closing. Certain sections are already closed, with some floors completely shut off. The only reason the showroom floors were open this late was for the special exhibit we saw. Finally, we make it outside. The street in front of the museum is now mostly empty, with the majority of traffic to the west. Hopefully, we won't have to take any detours that way. The air here isn't as frigid as it was on the rooftop, which is good since the wind is blowing directly in our faces as we walk towards his car. I have no clue which car is his. If he drove it to work, he must have parked it some ways away. Because there are always different cars parked around the building. He's not saying anything either, mainly because he's looking at his phone. Finally, he stops and pulls out his keys, unlocking the car that we've stopped at. It's a maroon red car. I've never been one to know car types since I've never owned one, but it's definitely a sporty model. I can't tell if it's new or if it's a few years old. It just looks really nice and taken care of. You can sit in the back if you want, and I can be your chauffeur. Hell no. Alright then, get in. The seats are a nice leather, making for a comfortable ride, except for my nerves. Maybe sitting in the back would have helped me calm down just a bit. Too late now. I've got to tough it out. He seems like an alright driver. Of course, it's more the other people you have to worry about. After he's driven a bit, he pushes a button that lets the top down. I lean back a bit in the seat and just stare at the stars the whole way home. Phew! Ground. And the ground in front of my apartment. Even better. Thank you for taking me home. It's nothing. It was on the way to my office anyway. He starts to walk out, work clearly still on his mind. Well, if you see any more exhibits that catch your eye, besides the one in front of you, wink wink. Alright, I'll call you. Or text, that's an option too. How about both? Wait, but then you'll just look like a needy girlfriend. But if you want to, be my guest. Alright, I won't keep you any longer. Good night. Good night. He closes the door behind him, and I can hear him lightly walking down the hallway. But wait, I was so worried about being in a car. I forgot to tell him where I live. Ooh, mysterious. Did she not put her address on the bond, I guess? Oh, I haven't talked to him since then. I mean, it's only been a couple of days, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't feeling nervous. How did he know where I live? Did he realize that I never told him? Did he realize that I know I didn't tell him? Am I overthinking this? I'm sure he has access to a lot of files on people that most citizens can't get their hands on. That's part of his job, right? Maybe? I want to talk to him, but I'm too nervous to call him first now. Maybe if I just go see him face to face. Maybe I should just wait until he calls. Yeah, surely that won't be much longer. Time for work. Yay. So then I told her that if she really cared, she could just call him. But she said he was busy, wasn't open to calls at the moment. So I said, screw that, and took her phone and called him for her. Then she got mad at me and started yelling right when he picked up, so he thought she was in trouble and started calling 911, at which point I left. That's when I got into a cab and told him to floor it towards the seabed so we could be with the fishes. Dots. Dots? See, I knew you weren't listening. Hello? Her arms waving frantically in front of me snaps me out of whatever daze I was in. Yeah, I'm listening. You said, she said, all that stuff. I got it. I should have gone to get stir-fried by myself rather than come here. Exactly! So I got in the cab and went down the road, but she saw me getting out because we hadn't gone that far, and she followed for a while, so I had to get back in the car and just went home that time. Then she called me on the ride to my house, but of course I ignored it and her 20 texts. This could probably be a riveting story if I knew what the hell she was talking about. I just can't shake this feeling. I thought eating someone would get my mind off of things, but at least there's a lot of people here. Even Sierra's mouth it gets drowned out by somewhat by the noise. Yet even with all this racket, my mind still wanders. Oh gosh, look at the time. We're going to be late for getting back to work. Oh, come on, we can still make it. Done with your drink? She grabs the glass, ignoring the straw, and downs the rest of it. And she poked her eye out, and we had to go to the hospital, and it was horrible, horrible accident. Like it came out when she took the straw out. Oh gosh, it was just, it was such a mess. And then we moved to Mexico for the surgery because it was cheaper there. And long story short, now we came back, went back to work, and now I am. I hope you didn't spike that. How else am I gonna get through the rest of the day, especially after that surgery? Save that for after work. Come on. Huh? Come on, or I'm going to leave you behind. Is he calling me now? Go on then, I'm right behind you. Hello? Hey! Hey, I haven't heard from you in a couple of days. That sounds like your phone's working perfectly fine. What does that mean? Phones are a two-way system. What's wrong? Was I supposed to call and check up on you? Talk to you until you fell asleep? I could have been kidnapped after you left. I could have been held hostage. Maybe I was just waiting for a ransom note. Who's to say they would have sent it to you? I have family, you know. And aren't they in... And aren't they in a different city? How do you think ransom notes work? Telegraphed? Hopefully I'll never have to find out. Anyway, I figured I'd call to see if you wanted to go somewhere with me. Why don't you be more specific? What, you don't like surprises? How am I supposed to meet you somewhere if I don't know where? I figured I could at least pick you up. He either hasn't realized I never told him my address, or he's trying to be cool about it. I can't keep sitting on this. It would be really easy for you to pick me up at my apartment since you already know where I live. Yeah, it's really no Dots. Took him long enough. Dots. You're the one who called me, so why don't you do the talking? Oh yeah, what was I calling about? Don't play dumb. You know what I'm talking about. I didn't even tell you my address the other day, yet you knew it. Dots. Well... So, when you left that first day, I did a quick check just to make sure everything was like you said. And you just happened to remember my address from that for a few weeks. I have a good memory, what can I say? That's the best he could come up with. That poor excuse isn't gonna cut it. Try again. I looked it up again after you called me. I was thinking about offering to pick you up, but I chickened out. I figured you wouldn't say yes anyway, so I didn't try. I doubt that's the truth, but repeatedly asking him usually just makes him irritable and start dodging questions. He's not great at this. And doing background checks is just as simple as a few clicks. You'd be surprised what I can find out about people without going through any companies for real background checks. Let's see. Evalise Adams graduated from Monroe High in the top 100 degree set on preschool education. Really? And a GPA of, okay, I get it. You're a super creeper. I am not. I've just got to err on the side of caution a lot. You've never heard the phrase, better safe than sorry? That's a little more than just cautious. You haven't seen some of the people that come through my door, except you have, actually, but does he really work with that bad of people? He's hinted at it before, but he seems more paranoid than anything. Alright, can we move on? Maybe. But you're on thin ice, mister. Thin ice, huh? Guess I'll have to figure something that make it up. What if I took you to a bookstore? That's it? You're hard to please. I figured a nerd would like a bookstore, love a bookstore. Try a bit harder, or try it all. That's also an option. Alright. What if there was something besides books there? Coffee? No, I mean, yes, but that's not what I was getting at. Look, do you want me to pick you up or go or not? I just sigh out loud. Loud enough for him to hear me over the speaker. There better be things better than just books there. Oh, there will be. I'll be there. So, when can I pick you up? I'm kinda on my way to finish the rest of my shift. Some of us work for a living. Hey, I've done some work this week, thank you very much. Mostly paperwork, but how about when my shift is over? And when will that be? About 3 more hours? Sounds good. Try not to get killed at work, okay? Don't jinx me. Alright, citizens, we're gonna see what happens next time on this mysterious bookstore date, but until then, I'm afraid that this is farewell!